2 undefeated home to Lazio a fortnight ago through suspension. There's also a recall for Sweden's Jonas Tern after injury. Well, 5 players from Milan's starting 11 were involved in Italy's euphoric victory over Portugal in the stadium last Wednesday. The French star Jean-Pierre Papin, though, is rested tonight. That means a rare start for Florin Radicioiu, the man whose goal enabled Romania to qualify at the expense of Wales. The Montenegrin Savicevic is preferred to Danish international Brian Laudrup, while Marcel Desailly, Milan's new signing from Marseille, makes his debut at midfield. 2 of the most successful sides in Serie A in recent seasons. Milan and Napoli have collected 5 of the last 7 Italian championships between them, with Milan, of course, the dominant team of the last 2 campaigns, and Napoli now struggling to revive their fortunes after a recent decline. Desailly wearing the number 8 shirt for Milan, who are hoping he'll be the new Frank Rijkaard, the Dutch star who of course played such a prominent role in Milan's recent success. Milan in the striped shirts kicking off and attacking from right to left as we look out, and this is Paolo Maldini, the Italian international. Donadoni with the throw, looking for Radicioiu. And he's won the corner. Radicioiu playing only his 3rd game in Serie A for Milan this season. 1 goal scored by him. And this is Donadoni with the corner. Milan unbeaten at home this season, although they have drawn the last 2 here. Napoli have lost only once away, and that at Cremonese. In goes Desailly. Then from Savicevic, back off Jonas Tern. And a lunging tackle then by Desailly, penalised by referee Livio Bazzoli. The foul on Ferrara, the captain of Napoli. Very experienced defender Ferrara, no longer featuring in the Italian national team, but still one of the most resolute defenders in the business. Had the task of marking Alen Boksic in the Croatian's debut for Lazio. Desailly, who conceded the free kick. And certainly Ferrara left his mark on Boksic. The Croatian finished the game minus a tooth. Here's Bia, the sweeper. Donadoni came back off Pecchia, away by Francini. Pecchia, who's settled well in the Napoli side. He's only 20 years old, having been signed from a 3rd division team back in the summer, Avellino. Foul on Radicioiu. Here's Desailly. He's made his reputation really as a defender, but in the mould of Rijkaard, they've slotted him into midfield. And this in the absence of Boban, who's out through injury. Simone. Albertini finding Maldini. Milan pressing from the off. Baresi sweeping it through. In goes Radicioiu. Now Simone, Donadoni. Donadoni, who's been playing so well for Milan this season and has won his place back in the national team. Now maybe Albertini will try one from here. Donadoni, the player over the ball, and Simone has joined him. Di Fusco, the goalkeeper for Napoli, he's the number 2 there. Tagliatella is out through injury. Donadoni then with the free kick, touched off to Simone. It goes Bia with the tackle, and is that another foul on Donadoni? Bia, another of the newcomers in the Napoli side, and clearly his leg was trailing there, but the referee has given the corner. It went to Desailly again. This is Gabbro on loan from Milan. Featuring as a regular in the side is Gabbro. This is Desailly. Played in Marseille's European Cup winning side of last season before their fall from grace. Here's Gambaro, getting cheered by the Milan following. Turn. Now Ferrara to Di Canio, who has license to roam in the Napoli side, the former Juventus and Lazio player. And he was tripped then by Simone. Di Canio, a really talented player, and getting a regular run in a Serie A side this season. Not a bad strike at goal either, and well held by Rossi. Sebastiano Rossi kept 7 clean sheets in a row at the start of the season. Squirmed away then from Simone. Here's Bia. Now Gambaro. Here's Jonas' turn. Had 5 games out through injury, Jonas' turn. Now Fonseca, the Uruguayan. Top scorer in the Napoli side with 4 this season. But it was a brave header by Baresi. The foot was clearly high then by young Pecchia. A rash challenge by the Napoli man. Baresi, now 33 years old. Won his 4th Scudetto last season, 14 years after his first, and such a valuable player still in Capello's team. On his 72nd cap, Baresi, against Portugal, and hopes to lead his nation in the World Cup finals. And he's going to need some strapping up here. Lippi, the coach of Napoli. Came from Atalanta during the summer. Baresi seems to be okay, and he'll battle gamely on. Savicevic has given it away rather carelessly to Bordin. Turn, getting in a tackle with his teammate Francini. Here's Savicevic. Glorious reverse pass, and Donadoni was onside too. Simone almost on the end of it. A let off there for Napoli. Here's Desai. Albertini had made the forward run. Away though by Cannavaro. Corner then to Milan. Taken by Savicevic. Desai making his presence felt again. But not to the referee's liking. Desai, who was part of the French team which lost to Bulgaria in the final World Cup qualifier. So he, like Papat now, is saying the Champions Cup is his World Cup. Milan, of course, through to the league stage in the European Cup. Donadoni, again the aggrieved party. Baresi with the free kick. I think he'll be too keen to head the ball from now on, Baresi. Fonseca, but tackle then by Desai. Donadoni taking on turn, getting the better of him too. Ranachoyu, Savicevic. Well, the goalkeeper was in the right place then, Di Fusco. In by Maldini. Savicevic, it's a great turn. And a well-timed tackle too. What an important one from Francini. Savicevic, he's such a good ball player. And his skill was very much to the fore then. Only his 5th start in Serie A this season, Savicevic. Still hoping to make his impression really in Italian football. Forward by Costa Curta. Now the offside flag is raised. And here's that glorious piece of skill by Savicevic. And fine goalkeeping too by Di Fusco. Di Canio. Napoli have mainly been pegged back so far, but hoping to make something of this attack now. Fonseca. Hounded by Costa Curta. Here's Di Canio. Now Bia. Wide of him is Ferrara. The tackle by Donadoni. Albertini slips it on. Radicchioiu. Still the Romanian. Oh, then he was fouled by Bia. That was a late tackle. Radicchioiu, who scored the winner for Romania then against Wales to become the leading scorer in the World Cup qualifiers among European players. But as I was saying earlier on, it's a rare start for him in Milan's team. Such as the depth of talent at the San Siro. Another examination maybe here then of Napoli's defensive qualities. Albertini with the free kick. Good 1-2. Albertini, who's scored in 2 of the last 3 games for Milan in Serie A. Surprisingly left out of the Italian starting lineup against Portugal, although he did come on to good effect in the second half. Maldini with the tackle on Pecchia. This is Bondin. Bia. Maldini. Albertini though turned back into trouble. And back into Di Canio. Could be danger for Milan here. Still Di Canio. Back off Baresi. Gambro let it run through and couldn't hit the target. Jonas Tern, who's failed to score for Napoli in his 2 seasons so far with them. Although they haven't been too unhappy with him in terms of his general contribution. Maldini. Albertini. This is Bondin. Now then to Tern. No, Desai snapping into the tackle. Fonseca onto his favourite left foot. This is Franchini. Napoli beginning to pose a question or two now. Fonseca, who scored 4 in his last 4 games. Jonas Tern. Excellent pass, picking out Bordin. And Di Canio, off Baresi's head. And my word, that hurt. Wide by Pecchia to Bordin. In the way was Paolo Maldini. I think twice about hitting the ball again. Fonseca. Riddled away from Baresi. And Donadoni eventually able to clear. Only as far as Ferrara, who was eventually tumbled by Simone. Lippi, whose team have certainly improved in recent weeks after a somewhat shaky start. Radicchioiu now for Milan. Combining with Savicevic, but to no avail really. Now Bordin, who came with the coach Lippi from Atalanta. Panucci. Desai. Here's Albertini. Always looks so smooth in possession, Albertini. Not so Panucci there. And it was good anticipation by Bia. Tern. Fonseca, away from Costa Curta. Now Di Canio, patrolling the left flank. And he's really stretching Milan here. Costa Curta, helped out by Baresi. Wasn't the best of clearances though. This is turn. And Rossi at full stretch then. Fine effort by Jonas Turn. And the former Benfica player bringing the best out of Rossi. Napoli's first corner of the game. Came back off Costa Curta to Gambaro. And towards Fonseca. Baresi again forced to head the ball away. Panucci. An injury to Ferrara. Not for the first time in this game. They can ill afford to lose his defensive qualities. Ferrara, he's so important for them at the back. Di Canio in heated conversation with Lippi, the coach. Well, Ferrara back in the fray. Donadoni. Here's Maldini. Losing out to Pecchia and having to resort to foul him in the end. Now Di Canio. Away from Maldini. And a take shot to finish a promising run. Simone. Is Bia. And they've played themselves out of trouble well here, Napoli, with 5 minutes of the first half to go. Baresi. Now Rarachoyu. A little unlucky to stumble there. I think it was fouled anyway. Former Brescia player Rarachoyu. Napoli not too happy with that decision. And there's the yellow card raised by referee Bazzoli. Cannavaro was the offender. Donadoni to take the free kick. Desai lurking at the far post. It's aimed towards him. Good catch though by Di Fusco. Turn. Outsmarted though by Albertini, and he was tripped surely. Foul on Albertini. Savicevic will take this kick. Panucci making his way into the middle. Panucci, who scored in the Milan derby against Inter a short while ago. But no Milan player anywhere near that cross from Savicevic. Donadoni to Costa Curta. Back in the Italian national team for the match with Portugal, Costa Curta. Savicevic now, the Montenegrin. It's a good tackle though by Ferrara. Desailly's got it back again for Milan. Panucci. And towards Simone, got the flick on. And Rarachoyu was denied. Turn. Pecchia. Right straight into Costa Curta. I think the first offence was actually committed by this man, Albertini. Mildly shaking his head, but I think it's going to be a yellow card for the Italian international, Demetrio Albertini. was actually Costa Curta, though, who really caught Pecchia. Di Canio. And harmlessly through. Well, I was going to say for a goal kick, but in fact the offside flag is up anyway. But Capello's team finding Napoli hard to break down at the other end. Albertini. Dreadful pass. So untypical of him too. It's Panucci, who's filling the vacancy left by Tassotti's injury at right back, and I think it's going to be hard for Tassotti to reclaim his place. So well has Panucci been playing. Here's Bia. Chested down by Fonseca. Now Di Canio. Wide of him his turn. Positive break here by Napoli. Baresi, Di Canio. And a chance at a goal from Pecchia. Right on the stroke of half-time. Milan in some disarray at the back. And Pecchia, the 20-year-old surprise of the season for Napoli, takes full advantage. Rossi with no chance. It was Baresi who played it into the path of Di Canio. They're all appealing for offside. There was no flag. And Pecchia has given Napoli a shock lead here just before half-time. His second goal in Serie A this season. Milan have made most of the running in the first half, but Napoli have caught them on the counter-attack. This is Donadoni. The last few seconds of the first half. Desai. Ranachoyu. And he's come in for some harsh treatment in the first half, Ranachoyu. This time from young Cannavaro. The young Neapolitan who's become a regular in the side under coach Lippi. Albertini. Too long though for Desai. And all in all, it hasn't really been a very productive half for Milan, certainly in terms of fashioning chances and taking them for that matter. De Fusco in the Napoli goal has had a relatively quiet half. Good anticipation by Beer again. Fonseca. This is Maldini. Now Albertini to Donadoni. Savajevic has made the run for him here. Lovely skill too. And some determined defending from Franchini. Savajevic to curl one in. Deep into injury time now. Turned with a header out. Desai. Donadoni drives it through. And no problem for De Fusco. Gambaro. Maldini. Here's Donadoni again. Surely tripped by Bordin. More frustration for Donadoni and indeed for Milan. Bordin with the tackle. Savajevic will take the free kick. Desai has been posted forward again. Maldini's come up as well. There is Maldini. Well, it was virtually a free header, but well wide of goal. Maldini, who's yet to score for Milan this season. In Serie A anyway. Well found by Savajevic. Disappointing finish though from Maldini. The end of a first half in which Milan really haven't fired, and they find themselves in a goal down. The goal scored right at the end of the first half, almost in injury time, by Pecchia, the 20-year-old for Napoli. Well, Albertini with plenty to say, and I'm sure Fabio Capello, the coach of Milan, will have plenty to say too in the dressing room in a bid to gee up his players in readiness and struggling. A goal down, Milan. The goal just before half-time from Fabio Pecchia. Baresi with the clearance for Milan, who've handed out a couple of spanking defeats to Napoli in recent times. 4-1 twice, and that unforgettable 5-0 slaughter back in January of 1992. Certainly one of the most exhilarating displays I've seen in club football anywhere. But no sign of that from Milan so far today. Renato Busto on the bench for Napoli. He was dropped for the last game against Lazio and hasn't won his place back as yet. Former Juventus and Sampdoria player. Milan throw taken by Donadoni. Bia is there. Had a good first half, Bia. Known as the Baresi of Serie B last season, from his days with Cosenza. Very successful time he had there, persuading Napoli to take him on this season. And they'll be rather pleased with their acquisition. Free kick to Milan. Savicevic has gone across to take it. Bia with a header out, back in by Albertini. Here's Simone! Surely a trip. Play on, says the referee. Well, my first reaction to that was that had to be a penalty. The referee was only a few yards away, had a good look and said no. To the dismay of Milan and their very noisy fans in the stadium. Albertini rolls it on, and the flag's up for offside, not against Simone, but against Radacioiu. Down at the bottom of your picture there. An alert linesman spotting that he hadn't come back quickly enough. Now here's the penalty incident again, or rather the lack of a penalty. Looked to me a foul by Bia on Simone. And surely Milan had a case. And the Milan players absolutely incensed that they weren't awarded a penalty then. Their frustration is boiling over, as is that of the Milan fans. Not used to seeing their team behind. And it's all getting rather heated out there. Missiles are being thrown on. Simone, who just can't believe that was not a penalty. And I would have to side with him there. Forward by Maldini. Here is Simone. Desai. Now Panucci. Desai. Panucci again. Too long though for Donadoni. Policed by Bordin. Now Milan are going to make a substitution. Alessandro Orlando is the player who's going to come on, and he's going to replace Savicevic, who's been kept fairly subdued by Francini. Don't think he knows he's coming off yet. He won't be too pleased when he finds out. The substitution yet to be made. Radacioiu. Donadoni. Again, Milan enjoying plenty of possession, but no real penetration about their game. Maybe they will be here. Albertini, back off Gambaro. Savicevic couldn't get a shot in. Here's Panucci. Oh, and he's curled it in delightfully. Superb goal by Panucci. What an outstanding young talent this man is proving to be. His second goal for Milan. He started the last 3 games now, 4 including this one, and he really is making a dramatic mark. So coolly into the corner, beyond the grasping fingers of Di Fusco. Milan won, Napoli won on 61 minutes. Panucci, who was called up by Arrigo Sacchi for the senior Italian squad last week, indeed was on the bench and then played for the under-21s and starred for them the following day. Fonseca. Turn. Test of Napoli's fighting qualities now. Milan with their tails up. Baresi happy to let that one through to Rossi. Now Maldini on to Costa Curta. Desai. £4 million signing, Desai. Albertini with the free kick, and there's Panucci again, and they left him free. Some sloppy defensive work, as Di Fusco is certainly pointing out, by Napoli. The free kick taken quickly by the substitute Orlando, and it was Panucci on the end of it. Orlando, his 3rd consecutive appearance as substitute for Milan. Former Udinese player. On from Pecchia to Fonseca. Free kick to Napoli. Desai charging into the tackle. Maldini as well. Here's Fonseca. He's very quick and very dangerous in front of goal. Gambaro making the run there, and what delight he would have taken to score against Milan, the club from whom he's on loan. Didn't get all that many opportunities in the Milan side, Gambaro. Says he touched the ball more times in one game for Napoli than in 2 years with Milan. Di Canio, that's good work by him. Still Di Canio. I think Pecchia may have strayed offside then. The referee allowing play to go on anyway. The sorcery of Di Canio threatening to open up Milan there. Maldini to Donadoni. Panucci. Goes Albertini. Maldini. Up goes Turn, and Desai out jumping him. Looks a very forceful player, Desai. Costa Curta to shepherd it back to Rossi. Milan, of course, who suffered that shock defeat away to Sampdoria. A shock because it ended a run of 38 league matches without defeat on the road, and they certainly have some competition for the title this season, with the likes of Parma and Sampdoria playing so well. Juventus up there too, and their great rivals Inter. Away by Beer. Baresi in ahead of Fonseca. Maldini to Donadoni. Maldini, delightfully done. Gracefully through as well, in search of Buenachoyu. And they didn't get the luck of the bounce there, Milan. Desai. Wanting support. And he's found it in the shape of young Panucci. Tecchia. Intelligently laid off then by Fonseca. Albertini. Milan dictating the play. Looking to expose Napoli again. Not that way though. Here's Gambaro. Baresi. Simone. Ranaccio in the middle. Cut out by Ferrara, who's gone down hurt yet again. He's not having the best of luck injury-wise, Ferrara, today. Now Busso is going to come on, and it's Di Canio who will go off. Looks to have some kind of injury there, Di Canio, maybe a groin injury. Busso then to pose a fresh problem or two maybe for the Milan defenders. Maldini to Orlando. Albertini. Baresi. Wide by Albertini to Panucci. Donadoni had created some space for him. Here's Desai. Promising debut by Desai. But his cross was dealt with well then by Bia. And Desai then recklessly into the tackle on Busso. Certainly puts himself about, Desai. And it'll be interesting to see what happens when Boban is fit again, as whether Desai holds on to his place. And he really caught Busso then with a late lunge. Simone is now going off to be replaced by Massaro. So a switch up front being made by Milan. Time running out for them, really. Simone playing no further part in this game. Massaro, who scored twice against Napoli in recent seasons, and he's had to settle really for a role on the subs bench in this campaign. Only a couple of starts for Massaro this season. He might get a chance to do something here as Milan with the free kick for the foul on Ranaccio by Cannavaro, clambering all over him. Donadoni with the free kick. The referee wanting that two-man wall further back. Desai is in the middle, and Maldini has come up again. A lot of jostling going on, and it came through off Massaro and into the grateful arms of De Fusco. I think the whistle had gone anyway. A lot of jostling certainly. And the referee spotting the infringement in favour of Napoli. Desai back to Costa Curta. Almost at the end now of the 90 minutes. It's Maldini for Milan. Are they going to drop another valuable home point? They've drawn the last two, remember. Ranaccio, who's toiled away up front, and he's come in for a lot of stick for the likes of Cannavaro, who again brushed him aside illegally. Now Albertini perhaps with a strike. There's Orlando there and Costa Curta. Some treatment needed for Ranaccio. Albertini with the free kick. Still not happy that the wall is far enough away. But he scored! go, and Albertini has struck again for Milan, his third goal in 4 games. And they've turned this game on its head from being a goal down. They're now 2-1 up. Superbly hit then by Albertini, curled into the corner. And De Fusco was always struggling on that one. Classic free kick from Albertini. So elegantly past the goalkeeper. Milan 2, Napoli 1. And what dismay for Napoli. Having gone in front and defended well too, they now find themselves behind. And with a lot to do to save the game. They haven't really stretched or extended Milan at the other end at all in the second half. We're into injury time. The referee having to sort out an altercation at the other end involving Radicchioiu. Whistles now from the Milan fans who want it to end. And that whistle is not for the finish. It's for a free kick to Napoli, offside. 2 minutes now played of injury time. Well, you can't exactly say that Milan are hanging on at this stage, but they will feel a lot happier when it's all over now. Bought in. Desai. The Milan fans in great voice now. Cannavaro with Radicchioiu. Happy to waste a few more seconds, Radicchioiu. And it's a different scene now from the end of the first half when Milan were behind. Radicchioiu, Cannavaro just getting a foot in though. Milan happy to keep the ball, content to keep the ball at the Napoli end. Albertini, who scored that stunning goal. Orlando now. And that's one way to retain possession. And he's won the corner off the legs of Franchini. And some dejected faces now among the Napoli players. I think they know their chance has gone to spring a shock result. Donadoni. Away by Busso. Here's Maldini. Costa Curta. Free kick. Given by referee Bazzoli. Costa Curta will take it. Eating up a few more seconds. No Albertini taking over. Excellent pass too, finding Massaro. Ferrara. That's it, the final whistle has been blown at last. Almost 4 minutes of time added on for stoppages. Well, they left it extremely late. But to the dismay of those Napoli fans, Milan, the champions, have triumphed again. A victory that lifts them onto 18 points, the same tally as Parma, the leaders. Bitter disappointment for Napoli, who'd come so close to collecting a treasured point from the San Siro. Milan then level on points with Parma, who earlier today won away to Atalanta. Gary Bloom is the commentator.
Zola. Is Brolin available to him? Here is Brolin. Esprit has stolen a march here and should score. Oh, and contrives to miss an easy chance. The Colombian international was clean through then, and you'd have put money on him to score here rather than miss the target. Benarivo. Esprit turns Pavan. Zola now. Brolin's arriving. Oh, that's breathtaking. That shot by Brolin was measured to perfection. Drove the ball wide of the goalkeeper's reach to give Parma the lead. You couldn't ask for more accurate finishing than that. Atalanta 0, Parma 1, Thomas Brolin the scorer. And Parma looking for more goals. Aspria, creeping out. That's a foul by De Paula, who looks like he's going to be cautioned here on his debut. Creeper was getting in field looking for a shot on goal. 6 minutes to full time. Aspria and Zola standing over the ball. Here is Zola, and there's a goal! 2-0 to Parma, who are home and dry and should have secured their second away victory in the league this season. A quite breathtaking strike. Driven in by Gianfranco Zola, Parma's leading goal scorer. Now can Soze strike back with light? Soze standing over the ball. Soze getting underneath the ball. Meli. This is Sensini. Two is Benarivo. Aspria, this should be 3. Oh! Aspria really has had a miserable afternoon in front of goal.
Elsewhere in Serie A, Canale provided the biggest surprise in Week 12, holding Juventus to a draw in Turin. Sampdoria won away for the 5th time this season at Foggia, while Lazio will be bitterly disappointed with their defeat at the hands of Torino. Perhaps the result of the week, though, belonged to Reggiana. Their 2-0 win over Cremonese was their first in Italy's top flight. So at the top of Serie A, it's Parma and Milan leading the way on 18 points, followed by Sampdoria on 17, and Juventus back in 4th place now, a further point behind after dropping their first home point of the season. At the bottom, Lecce are still 3 points adrift. Atalanta and Udinese also in deep trouble. Reggiana, after that first victory, now on 8 points. Piacenza, Foggia and Genoa all on 10. Well, now the leading goal scorers in Serie A, and out in front Andrea Silenzi of Torino, followed by the mercurial Roberto Baggio of Juventus, and then Gantz, Muller, Deli Valdez, Zola and Hullit all on 7. And that's it for this week's Mezzanotte. The next Italian football on Channel 4 will be on Saturday morning, Gazzetta Football Italia with Paul Gascoigne. And a real cracker for our live match on Sunday. The top 2 are meeting this week, Parma at home to Milan. That's at 1:15, and of course we'll be back with Mezzanotte next Tuesday night, featuring another of the top games from Serie A, Inter against Juventus. Until then, from me, Peter Brackley, good night.
There's a free Italian football wall chart now available. Just send an A4 stamped addressed envelope to Italian Football Wall Chart Offer, P.O. Box 4000, London W3 6XJ.